10:10 Bible study. Jump into the Word with us.
Is anybody else done with COVID? Anybody else done sitting in their house? I am. I am losing my mind. I love being home with my wife and my now 2 children, but I'm not sleeping a lot. Hopeful for that. And I'm just tired, guys. I'm tired. And you might be feeling the same way. And the thing that's unfortunately been taking the back burner to all this is my relationship with God. Because I feel busy. I feel like I have a bunch of things to do. And so naturally, we've got the Zoom calls and all that stuff. And so I'm rubbing shoulders with Jesus, but I'm not taking my own time to sit and talk to God, which is starting to weigh on me a lot. When I read Proverbs 19 and I see all these things that I need to do and I'm not doing, that's a good reminder that I need to take time to be with Jesus. And again, when I do take time to be with Jesus, I am growing in my relationship with God. And that's really, Proverbs has lots of wisdom about that, And this is the most important one. This is the one that hit me the most. It's Proverbs 19:27. Cease to hear instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. And that verse got me just a couple minutes ago when I was doing my take and then my camera stopped because I had too much storage taken up on my phone, and then my son and my wife and my mom and my other son are all upstairs eating, and I had to move all that stuff. And so naturally I want to be frustrated, but the reality is that I have no reason to be, and God is reminding me of that. If I hadn't just read this chapter, I probably would have been a little bit frustrated. And so all this to say, I need to take time with God. It says in verse 23, the fear of the Lord leads to life, and whoever has it rests satisfied. He will not be visited by harm. When we fear the Lord, or when we have respect for God, when we grow in our relationship with God, we're going to leave life satisfied. We're going to be able to rest and just know that everything's going to be okay. It says, listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. That's verse 20. This whole relationship thing takes time, and it takes repetition. It takes daily, it's almost like a daily vitamin. You're constantly interacting with God. You're constantly going back to it. And I find that when I keep going back to the Word, when I'm in a season where I'm staying close to God, then it's building me up. It's making me a better person, a better husband, a better father, a better friend, a better youth pastor. And so I need to take time with God, and it continues. I'm going from the end of Proverbs 19 to the beginning, but it says, whoever keeps the commandments keeps his life. He who despises his ways will die. Again, when we don't focus on God, we're losing perspective on the fact that it's not just a Sunday thing. If you are a Christian and you think that your relationship is satisfied by just going to church on Sunday, you're missing the point, because Jesus is here to change our lives, not to just to change our Sunday. Not just to give us a good TED Talk so we can go home and be cool with whatever we just learned and not really change our own lives. Jesus is calling us to be more like him and less like ourselves. And when I take time, and I haven't, but when I take time to spend time with God and grow in my relationship with him, that is when I feel like I'm living my best life. But when I don't, and I'm just acting a fool like I have been because I have been neglecting my time with God, then I don't have a lot of sense. One thing I've been struggling with is being angry, because naturally when your 2-year-old does something crazy, you want to just be like, what are you doing? But I need to be patient. It says in verse 11, good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is his glory, to overlook an offense. When we're patient and we overlook wrongs that are in our lives, or when we're frustrated with our 2-year-olds and we're just like, why are you doing what you're doing? If we instead look to God and we overlook these things and we love them, then we're doing what God's called us to. And again, it's not easy to live like Jesus. It's not easy to do this, but when we take time to interact with God regularly, we slowly start to become more like Christ. And that's what I need. And so I need to spend a lot more time in the Bible. And hopefully you guys are spending plenty of time, and this is something like, yeah, well, we get it, but Anyway, like, I hope you guys got something out of this. I, to be honest, didn't even know where to start. I hope that this was beneficial to you guys, because the reality is if I'm not spending time in the Word, then I'm missing the whole point of this whole relationship with God thing, because I need to learn about God to live like God. So hopefully you guys are learning about God, taking time to read Proverbs 19 on your own so you can live like God. I'll see you guys next time at 10:10 Bible Study. Jump into the Word with us.
10:10 Bible Study. Jump into the Word with us.